I've never played Outer Wilds, but in this series, I'm changing that. Welcome back. In the back of my mind, ever since I last braved the thicket, something has been luring me back to Dark Bramble. There was a red light in and amongst the fog, and it's about time I let my curiosity get the better of me. As I re-enter though, I'm back to feeling like I really don't belong here. I know what lives in the murk, and I am an invader in their territory. Nevertheless, I creep through, slowly moving towards the red light. I'm honestly relieved when it turns out it's another seed. Then, as I begin to make my way deeper, oh, I don't like this at all. Remember when I said that I'm quite glad I'm caught in a time loop sometimes? This is definitely one of those times. Of course, I doubled down. Now I have to know what's causing the red light. This time, I'm going to go fast. The plan is simple. I'm going to outpace the anglerfish. I'm back. This is going to work. I can already feel that this is going to work. I am a fast moving... Okay, there's the fish. There is the fish. Right, let's just go. Let's just go and carry on going. And go and then go some more. This is working. I am succeeding and going fast. And that's where I need to go. So that's where I'm going to go. And going fast does not work. Round 3. This time, I'm going to go super carefully. Real slow. Take my time. Just really bask in the ambience, you know? I make it to the first red light and go through the seed. Then I receive a friendly greeting. Yeah, back up. Back up. Back up some more. Just keep backing up. Just back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Let the nerves come back. Then it hits me. My ship is loud. I am not loud. Leave the ship. Navigate this place on your own. It actually works. Another red light in the distance closes in and becomes another seed. I suddenly feel a sense of pride and confidence. I'm doing it. Okay, that was horrifying. Back to the ship and, hey, look, the quantum moon is here, orbiting Timber Hearth. That looks like a much more inviting place. There will not be any fish there, presumably. I launch a few scouts and they seem to go through it. I'm not quite sure I was expecting the scout to really reveal anything, but I wasn't expecting that either. After a little bit more playing about, shooting another scout and seeing static on the image when I try to take a photograph from inside the moon, I make a decision. I want to land on the quantum moon. I do not land on the quantum moon. Probably for the best. Another distraction right now would be a terrible thing. My main priority absolutely is braving the anglerfish one more time. There's a certain comedy that time loops force upon those that end up inside of them, I realise as I brave the fog once again. For all intents and purposes, I've left this mortal coil in a lot of horrifying ways at this point. I'm able to make fun of it right now, but the mark left on the psyche, that's probably going to stay with me for a while. This time, I start making use of the scout to see what lies ahead. I really regret the decision because it becomes clear that what lies ahead is largely just teeth. I really don't want to do this, actually, but the red light compels me to do so. I really don't know what could possibly lie at my would-be destination, nor am I sure that it's still curiosity and not just pure insanity that's compelling me onwards, but I press on. I'm then met with quite the obstacle, and the only way forward that I can see is between the two of them. They're making noises, and I daren't look behind me or change my trajectory by a millimetre, and my britches could probably do with a clean. But I press on. Oh, I think that's a third one in front of them. Oh, I don't like this. Just keep going, it's fine. Stop making noises. Okay. They are still there, but okay. Keep going. Keep going. I really, really hope I don't have to go past those two ever again. Ahead, something unlike anything I've seen before appears through the haze. It would appear I've found the source of the red light. I take my time approaching, whatever it is, and then wonder if it's emitting a signal of some kind. I probably should have checked that long before now, but here we are. I pluck up the last ounce of courage I have in me and move as close as I can, and... Are they eggs? They're eggs. Well, fine. Fish lay eggs. I'm in a fish nest. There are eggs in the fish nest. Fine. Fine. While I'm here, I start looking around some more. I think a large part of what's driving me now is pure rage. The idea that I've gone through all of that for eggs is just something I refuse to accept. But I found nothing. I sent out some scouts. Teeth, lights, and nothing. After some time, I find what looks to be an opening in the roots. I have no idea where it might lead, but it's something, so I head into it. I'm met with the stars, and I have to wonder, is Dark Bramble just playing with me? Is this some kind of cosmic joke? Put me through horrors I need not have seen or known, and then spit me back out on the other side, not even thanking me for the visit. Take a deep breath. That's better. I flick the signal scope on and check for signals. Then I think of the distress beacons and the escape pods. There were meant to be 3 and I know of 2. And then there's a distress beacon coming from inside Dark Bramble. Alright, bravery back on, rage put away, I pretend not to kick myself for not checking the signal scope sooner, and then I dive back in. Following a signal is scientifically better than following a cool red light in almost all circumstances. The signal is still leading me to places I'd rather not be, but I know that something is emitting the signal and it probably isn't eggs. I delve deeper. I find myself in what can best be described as a new part of the Bramble Maze. There are floating rocks here. At least I assume they're rocks. It's very nice of you to think I'd stop to actually check when I could be eaten at any moment, but I have my limits. I continue on, checking the signal every so often so I don't lose my direction. It dawns on me that I'm not sure how long I've been out here, or to put it more appropriately, how much time I have left before the flash. Best not to think about that right now. I'm closing in on the signal after all. In the distance, a Nomai structure comes into view, the escape pod. I haven't heard or seen any signs of the anglerfish in a little while, but I figure moving slowly is still probably the right thing to do. In its own unique way, I find it quite fitting that the moment I start considering just how long I've spent exploring Dark Bramble and everything I've gone through to find this place, the music starts just as I discover it. I'm still moving slowly, don't want to catch any unwanted attention, but I'm feeling a little bit rushed all of a sudden. I haven't got long left to explore this place the way I'd like to, but I try to make the most of what time I do have. A Nomai log floats just inside the structure. They tried to flee from Dark Bramble, but their pod crashed, leaving them without the ability to move or communicate. They attempted to leave the pod and return to the vessel. I can't remember where else I've seen the vessel mentioned, but I know I have. This does seem promising. I move further into the structure, trying whatever I can, really, to record at least something for the ship log, but I can hear the supernova. It's happened. Time inevitably runs out as I pop open the escape hatch of the pod. The Nomai appear to have left a trail. Wake up, suit up, check the log. The log confirms that the pod on Dark Bramble was one of 3, all of which were launched from the vessel. The survivors from Pod 3 attempted to return to the vessel. I take another look at a few other entries in the log, in a thinly veiled attempt to find a distraction from this discovery. I really don't want to brave the nest again, but I have to, don't I? I'm grateful for the ability I now have to mark a waypoint to the escape pod. It floats there, like a friend, inviting me through the horror show of Dark Bramble with the promise of something good waiting for me, like a nice hot dinner. In we go, once again. I feel like the waypoint is directing me differently to how I found the pod last time, but I figure that's due to the weird things Dark Bramble is doing to space, and put the thought to one side. My own judgment and ability has steered me wrong a number of times on this journey, but my instruments and scientific things never have. I still move slowly through the fog, but I've gotten used to this now, and the ship feels almost natural again. A short time passes, and I'm back at the escape pod, this time with time. The flight log within the escape pod, something I missed last time I was here, states that the vessel has been mortally injured, almost as if it's alive. It might be, I suppose. I think I'm past the point of things being unbelievable or too crazy to be true at this point. After the pod launched, it went through a number of collisions that altered its course and caused significant damage. It eventually landed where it now rests. I appreciate that the flight scan of the local environments indicates a lack of gravity and breathable air, as well as multiple, potentially hostile, life forms. The verdict is simple. Don't exit the pod. Thanks, pod. A second Nomai log provides some further information. There are 2 signals coming from the vessel, as if it was in 2 locations at once. The Nomai that crashed here followed the closest signal and left a trail of lights to the location. Well, I know why there were 2 signals, and having the trail confirmed is a nice bonus. I opt to follow the trail on foot, so to speak, leaving the ship at the pod for now. The trail isn't long and doesn't pass any significant dangers or threats, which is very nice of it. It leads me to another seed, an impassable one. Moving in closer, amongst several bodies, is a Nomai log. The Nomai arrived here following the signal but couldn't go any further. The vessel signal is coming from inside the seed, but no Nomai were able to fit through. The Nomai that died here spent their final moments wondering about the nature of this wicked place and hoping that the other pods made it away safely. It's a sobering scene. I say farewell to the Nomai and launch a scout into the seed. The scout provides me with a waypoint to a location a fair distance away, and I march on back into the abyss. Following the signal brings me to an unfortunately familiar place. However, by some stroke of luck, I'm able to make it past the anglerfish without incident. I realise that I'm still without my ship and my fuel and my oxygen, but if I move with a purpose, I hope that I can make it to where my scout ended up. Another seed brings the vessel into view. It's not alive, which means it's a Nomai ship. There's a crack in the side that leads me to the interior. A mechanism catches my attention, and a control panel raises from the floor. I'm able to draw patterns on the control panel, but I'm not immediately sure what to do with it. Makes a nice noise though. I get nowhere, so I start looking around some more. The bridge is split into 3 floors. Below is a strange device that I can't really make much sense of. Fortunately, there is a Nomai log here. The vessel received a signal that appeared to be older than the universe. The Nomai aboard, upon receiving the signal, warped towards it without telling anyone else where it was they were going. I assume that the signal is the eye of the universe and the Nomai arrived in this solar system on this very ship. The upper section of the bridge holds some more Nomai writings. The Nomai sent a message out to any other Nomai clans that could hear the message. They believed the universe to be dying and that it would be best for all the clans to stay together. Clans that went exploring would be on their own, and while another vessel stated it was on its way to the Nomai residing here, it never arrived. Another set of writings appears to be a log of what happened to the Nomai here. Vines seemed to fuse with the ship, causing the Nomai to abandon it and take to their escape pods. Their last message was a plea to the other clans, or any spacefaring species, for help. It's taken a bit of time, but I realise that I am very much within a Nomai grave. These were the first Nomai to traverse the void and arrive in this solar system, and it seems like a large number of them met their doom upon getting here. The talk of exploding suns across the universe reminds me of what Chert on Ember Twin had noticed. A lot more supernova than one would typically see in the night sky have been occurring lately. True enough, in my travels I've often seen them myself. Further exploration of the vessel doesn't really provide much else, and I play around with the control panel some more. I wonder if I could draw the coordinates I found in the probe module on the control panel, and I'm only slightly annoyed. I really can't remember what they look like. That means a return trip. Thanks for nothing. Inability to remember things that I haven't paid too much attention to. I head back outside to see if there's anything I've missed on the exterior, not paying too much attention to my fuel situation. Then I get a little bit careless with my oxygen, and it's back to the start. A huge thank you for joining me on my journey, and I hope to see you once again. Until next time, it's been Outer Wilds.